Last week, the stock market was down about 9%. On Friday, we had a pretty big down day, about 6%. And the reality is that these things do happen all the time in the stock market, right? If you are investing in stocks, this is the price of admission, which is volatility. That being said, I'm guessing if you're nervous right now, it's not so much about seeing some dollar losses in your portfolio and having that sinking, that stone in your stomach when you look at your statements. It has more to do with the political environment and feeling like this is a forced error. So here's my prediction. Regardless of the outcome, we're going to have two camps of people. In the first camp, we're going to have people, assuming the stock market recovers, assuming that tariffs are taken off or reduced. One group of people are going to say, you dummies, you fell for it. Of course he wasn't going to stick to this. He's a businessman. He's a real estate guy. This is the art of the deal. This is the 9D chess. So he was just planting the seed, buying his time, and getting them to the negotiating table. And so perhaps the stock market recovers from here. We're going to have one group of people saying that, right? Of course, I saw this all along. Then we're going to have another group of people, and perhaps the stock market does not recover as quickly. Perhaps it continues to go down from here. The tariffs stay on. We're going to have another group of people saying, you dummies, of course he was going to do this. He promised this on the campaign trail. He told you exactly what he was going to do. I predicted it all along. So the reality is that no matter what happens to this market, we're going to have two groups of people, and it doesn't matter which camp that you're in. The reality is that those are the two likely outcomes, and people are going to say, I knew it all along. The truth is, we really don't know what's going to happen next. Now, does that mean we have to abandon our plans? No, right? It's that old saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So what are some things that we can do given the current market environment and given some of the losses that we've seen so far this year and especially last week? Well, again, number one of the things that we can do, something that we're looking at doing for our clients, are things like strategic Roth conversions, right? That's where you take some of that pre-tax money, you move it over into that tax-free Roth IRA account. The reality is that doing Roth conversions when the market is declining or in a decline is a very smart thing to do, and one of the best things you can do to buy in at lower prices, take advantage of that recovery. The second thing you can do, especially if you have a brokerage account, are things like tax loss harvesting, right? Where you can sell some investments, perhaps some of your investments are at a loss, harvest that loss, you can deduct it on your tax return or deduct it against other capital gains that you have, buy an equivalent investment so that you can participate in the recovery when it does come. Another thing that you can do is strategic rebalancing, right? Maybe you take some other investments, you harvest some of the gains that you've already had, buy some other investments that are decreasing in value. And speaking of a diversified portfolio and rebalancing, again, this is why having a diversified portfolio, especially if you're in retirement, is so important. The reality is that the U.S. stock market has been the place to be for the past 10 years, right? No one wants to invest in anything else. If we look at so far this year, international stocks, emerging markets are holding up quite better than the U.S. stock market so far this year. Now, will that trend necessarily continue? I don't know. But the reality is that if you're in retirement and you're taking income and you're thinking about doing some rebalancing, this is why we diversify, right? Perhaps we can take some of the growth that we've experienced so far in international markets, harvest that growth, buy some more U.S. stocks at a discount. Because maybe this trend continues, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. So again, the reality is that are the moves so far this year that we've seen so far this week in the stock market anything out of the ordinary? In terms of total market movement, no, these things happen all the time. We see stock market moves like this quite frequently, but it's being exacerbated by everything we're seeing in the political environment and the current administration and just people's overall feeling. So the best thing we can do at this point in time is stay disciplined, stay invested, right? As long as you have a sound investment plan, and then go back to your financial plan. Am I still on track, right? If the market does go down another 10%, am I going to be okay? And that's what a good financial plan should be able to ask for you. So again, take advantage of a declining market. Don't make emotional decisions, right? Go back to your financial plan. Does this still look good, right? Am I still on track? Have things significantly changed that would cause me to rethink the overall strategy? My guess is if you have a good financial plan, it hasn't changed too much. So again, try not to make emotional decisions. This is a new video format. I hope you guys like it. Casual on the weekend, just giving you guys an update on what's happened, maybe some things to think about in the weeks and months to come. If you like it, let me know. Drop a like, give me a comment down below. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Let me know. All right, guys.